High on the western slopes of Bodmin Moor stand the remains of three mines that once helped power Cornwall's industrial revolution. Today only ruined engine houses and spoil heaps remain. Most visitors know about South Caradon, one of the richest copper mines in the world. But nearby stood another mining empire: Phoenix United, South Phoenix and New Phoenix. Together they formed what became known as the three Phoenix Mines. Long before miners arrived, this landscape was already ancient. Prehistoric people built monuments here more than 4,000 years ago. For centuries the moor remained a sparsely populated upland of grazing land and small farms. Hidden beneath the granite, however, lay rich veins of copper and tin. By the early 19th century, Cornwall was at the centre of a globing mining boom. Prospectors began searching the slopes of Caradon Hill. In 1836, miners struck an exceptionally rich copper lode at South Caradon. The discovery transformed the area almost overnight. Within a few decades, South Caradon became one of the richest copper mines in Britain. Hundreds of miners found employment here. New settlements appeared. Roads improved. Tramways connected the mines to markets beyond Cornwall. At its peak, South Caradon employed over 1,000 workers. The wealth generated here helped shape the communities of St Cleer, Minions and Pensilva. But South Caradon was only part of the story. Just to the west, another group of mines was developing. These would become known collectively as the Phoenix Mines. Phoenix United was the largest and most successful. Rich deposits of copper and tin were discovered beneath the moorland. Investors poured money into the venture. New engine houses appeared across the landscape. Massive beam engines pumped water from deep underground workings. Ore processing facilities expanded. Thousands of tons of rock were extracted and processed here. During the Victorian era, the Phoenix Mines became major employers in their own right. Families across the district depended on mining wages. Shops, schools and chapels all benefited from the prosperity generated below ground. By the 1860s, the success of Phoenix United encouraged further exploration of the surrounding ground. Prospectors believed the rich mineral lodes continued beyond the existing workings. New investment followed, and mining expanded across the western side of the district. Of the three Phoenix mines, Phoenix United was by far the most successful. The mine's origins can be traced to the early 19th century, when prospectors began exploring the mineral-rich slopes west of Caradon Hill. As mining expanded, Phoenix United developed into one of Cornwall's most productive copper and tin mines. Unlike many smaller ventures that quickly disappeared, Phoenix United survived for decades, adapting as markets changed and new technologies emerged. The mine became a major employer within the district, supporting hundreds of workers both underground and on the surface. Every ton of ore extracted here represented the efforts of miners, engineers, blacksmiths, carpenters, surface workers and countless local families whose livelihoods depended upon the industry. The most recognisable structure at Phoenix United is the Prince of Wales engine house. Built in 1863, it housed a powerful beam engine designed to pump water from the increasingly deep workings below. As the mines expanded, controlling water became one of the greatest engineering challenges facing Victorian miners. Without these pumping engines, the lower levels would rapidly flood, bringing production to a halt. The Prince of Wales engine worked continuously, helping keep the mine operational as shafts extended ever deeper beneath the moor. The building we see today was not simply a workplace, it was a centre of a vast industrial system. Every day, miners descended hundreds of feet below ground, relying on machinery like this to make their work possible. As mining expanded, neighbouring workings became known as South Phoenix and New Phoenix. Although smaller than Phoenix United, they formed part of the same industrial landscape. Together the three mines stretched across a significant section of the moor. Steam engines worked continuously. Water was pumped from increasing depths. Miners followed the ore even further underground. The surviving engine houses we see today were once the beating heart of a vast industrial revolution. Standing alone against the skyline, these ruins provide a glimpse into the scale of Victorian engineering that once dominated this landscape. South Phoenix developed on ground immediately south of the original workings. As miners followed the lodes deeper underground, increasingly powerful machinery became necessary. The most prominent reminder of this period is Houseman's engine house, completed in 1881. Inside stood a massive Cornish beam engine whose job was simple but essential, keeping the mine dry. Without constant pumping, groundwater would quickly flood the workings and make mining impossible. The engine worked day and night, lifting thousands of gallons of water from deep beneath the moor. By this stage, mining technology in Cornwall had become some of the most advanced in the world. Engineers from districts like Phoenix were exporting their expertise across the globe, from Australia to South Africa and the Americas. Yet despite the impressive machinery, the mine faced a growing problem. The deeper miners worked, the more expensive extraction became. Every additional yard underground required more pumping, more timber, and more labour. To the northwest, another venture emerged, New Phoenix. Investors hoped new ground would reveal fresh mineral wealth and extend the success of the district. Like many Cornish mining ventures of the 19th century, optimism often ran ahead of reality. Considerable sums were spent sinking shafts, erecting engine houses, and developing infrastructure. The surviving engine house represented a significant financial commitment and belief that the district still had untapped potential. But New Phoenix never achieved the sustained success of either Phoenix United or South Caradon. Production remained comparatively modest, and profits proved difficult to maintain. Nevertheless, the mine formed part of a wider network of workings that collectively employed large numbers of local people and contributed to the area's economy. Today, New Phoenix appears isolated and forgotten. Yet when the mine was active, this landscape would have looked dramatically different. Steam engines operated continuously. Wagons moved ore across the district. Chimneys emitted smoke. Hundreds of workers travelled daily between homes, mines and processing areas. At its height, the Phoenix set covered roughly a square mile of mining ground and contained numerous shafts, engine houses, dressing floors and tramways. As local mines declined, former miners from the Phoenix district emigrated to places such as Australia, Mexico, South Africa and the United States, taking their skills with them. Today the remains of the Phoenix mining district form part of the wider Cornwall and West Devon mining landscape, recognised internationally for its contribution to the development of international mining technology. Comparisons with South Caradon are inevitable. South Caradon was larger, richer, better known. For a time it ranked among the most productive copper mines in the country. The Phoenix mines never quite reached those heights, yet together they formed one of the most important mining districts on Bodmin Moor. Their influence extended far beyond the engine houses that survive today. They provided employment, supported local businesses and helped shape the identity of the communities that still surround Caradon Hill. Without the Phoenix mines, the history of this area would look very different. Today, only fragments remain. Granite walls, engine houses, spoil heaps slowly being reclaimed by nature. Yet these ruins still tell the story of a remarkable period in Cornwall's history. The story of innovation, industry, community and ambition. While South Caradon may have been the most famous name on Caradon Hill, the three Phoenix mines played an equally important role in the shaping of the landscape we see today. More than a century after the engine stopped, their legacy still stands on the moor.